Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel for another video. This is a video that everybody has been waiting to see. We've gotten a bunch of comments about this one. We got Papa Zig here, as you guys have all seen on the camera and in the videos. Haven't really made a video on him yet or had a conversation with him. Everybody wants to hear that, so that's what we're going to do today. We got Steve Jr. over there and Jim right here. So we're going to be talking about how did he get into the business, why is he working for us, and that sort of thing, and just that we can get to know him better. All right, so the first question that we have for you is how did you get, not that we have for you, but that the audience has, is how long have you been doing this for? What age did you start? What was like your first property like, or what made you get into the business?
I got into the business, I've been in business doing it since I've been 18 years old. I'm 57, so you do the math. I was working construction with a mason for $7 an hour, and after work I started picking up lawns and making probably 15 or 20 bucks way back when, and by the end of the week I was making more in 2 nights than I was all week. So I worked construction for 2 years, and then I just went out on my own. Probably at 20, 21 I've been on my own landscaping, sold it to these two guys, and here I am.
Yeah.
Still rocking and rolling.
But sold it to us last year, so that was, you were running your own business for 21 to 56, 55?
Yeah, let's say
34 years? 35 years?
35 years I was doing it myself, and the last 10 years of that I kind of worked on my own because it was just hard to find good help.
Yeah, and it was affordable to find help before that, so that's why you...
I remember my first guy I ever hired, his name was Umberto. I paid him $6 an hour cash.
that was back in 2000 something, right?
That was
2000,
probably
90s.
Yeah, probably 2000, 1999, and it was hard for him to ask me for 50 cents more in a raise.
That's just how it was back then.
That's how it was.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, we'll start more in the beginning too. I'm sure people want to know what your first piece of equipment was, how many lawns did you have, that sort of thing. What was your favorite piece of equipment back in the day?
Well, back in the day, it was all walk-behinds. I borrowed money from my sister to buy a 36-inch walk-behind. I don't remember what kind of, it might have been an X-Mark or a Grasshopper back then. And I would just put it in the back of my truck, and I think I had ramps until I had enough money. I bought a 4x8 open trailer where I got a 48-inch walk-behind, and I had to cut a hole in the tailgate to get the tires of the 48 to stick out so they both would fit on the trailer. My first customer was Busy Beehive down in Packanack Lake in Wayne. I cut that for $20 every week.
Wow.
Going back to the trailer story, what we call that zigifying.
Yeah.
I definitely zigified, and zigifying is still going on to this day.
Which we just zip tied the new power steering cooler to the black truck this morning.
Yeah.
But that's what it comes with in the kit. In the kit is zip ties. So,
Yeah.
Every landscaper should have zip ties and duct tape. It'll get you through the day.
and some Advil.
Yeah.
And some anxiety medicine.
So, you got any other questions?
What was your first truck?
My first truck was an F-250 Ford. If I'd known it would have been here, I do have a picture of it. I had to put, I think it was probably pine. I made the wood on the side to keep more stuff in there, landscaping, debris, leaves, sticks, cleanups, that type of thing.
And then you moved up to a Chevy 3500 rack body truck, right? That had the
Correct.
holes in the sides?
Correct.
And then we would have to build that was like my highlight of the fall, was you'd have to build the leaf box and put the wood
No,
in
the
sides.
Chevy 3500, I had sides made up. I met a guy down in Riverville. He's passed away since then. He was a welder, and he always, for whatever reason, I gave him work, and he was very reasonable. And I had metal sides made on the truck, just so the wood, I could take them off if I didn't need them or whatnot. And then a neighbor told me it was too late for what I wanted to do, so that's when I went to a F450 turbo diesel truck, which is,
It's not here, but
it's not here, but it's a 2000 F450 that is still here, and what's it have, about 158,000 miles on it?
You
Yeah.
bought
Since
it.
2000?
Yeah, you bought it brand new.
It was
And-
$28,000.
Brand new.
Think about that, $28,000.
Brand
Think
new
about
off the lot back
think
then.
about the price of a new truck today. That's insane.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
then you sold it to me 2 years ago. Oh, last spring, last
Mhm.
winter,
Hmm.
just 2 winters ago.
We'll call it the transaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wanted
We'll
to
get
keep-
there.
We'll get there. But that truck is still working for us. The first thing we had to do was paint it black so it matched the rest of the fleet. But definitely wanted to keep the truck in the family, and not even if we didn't need it, which we do need it, but at some point we won't need it. We're never going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just because I started in that truck, Jim started in that truck, and then our other 2 Bozo brothers worked in that truck as well.
You
Yeah.
guys are not bozos.
Yeah. Yeah, and that truck, we've been working on it since, that's like, we learned how to work on 7.3s working on that truck.
Mhm.
That's why we like 7.3s, is because he had a 7.3, and we just learned the hard way how to, every time it was broken, we fixed it. And it wasn't broken that much, but we learned everything that we know on that truck.
I broke it purposely to teach
yeah.
these guys a lesson on how to fix stuff.
Yeah. So I guess we can go more into your landscaping years. What were some notable pieces of equipment that you came across that you found were beneficial? Because I know that we took a lot of your strategies and we still use them. So what have you learned that's a good piece of equipment, good strategy, good thing to have?
That
Today,
one was
or
sitting
like,
on-
or are you asking me what I bought that was essential for what I was doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first started to do fall cleanups, everybody had the push blowers. Nothing, nowhere near there. And so if you had to go up a hill, like behind the trailer, which you probably can't see, you'd have to push it up and then bring it down, and a lot of manual labor to do that. Freyden came out. I don't know what year it was, but it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was
self-propelled.
hydraulic.
Self-propelled.
Self-propelled hydraulic, where I was able to do it. I bought one. I was one of the first ones to buy it from Riverdale Power. Matt and Willie, good friends of mine, down in Riverdale, New Jersey. I was able to move it with a finger, with my finger backwards. There were times when I would be going up a hill by myself doing a fall cleanup, and other landscapers would stop and look at me. And that was roughly, I think, $2,600 when it came out. The push blowers were maybe 8 or 9, maybe an 8 horse, and maybe I think it was a 13 horse or a 15 horsepower was maybe $1,400. And back then that was a lot of money, but I put the money in to get it to save me time, because if you don't know, I like to bow hunt, so I try to save time for bow hunting in the fall.
You can spend money to make money. So
Yeah,
back then,
exactly.
They still have those today. I think they're like $4,000, the self-propelled 18 horsepower.
I
one.
just saw one on Facebook. I almost
Mhm.
bought it
Yeah,
They're
just
still
for
out there,
keepsake.
but now when
Yeah.
we're using these, people are stopping to look at these things.
Yeah,
And then when we see them using like a push blower, we're like, what the heck?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty amazing too. I mean, I don't think standers were always a thing, right? Stand-on mowers are newer.
No, the people, a friend of mine from high school, they would have the sulkies that
Yeah.
you could stand on it behind a walk behind, just to, save some energy for the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it was different back then. I mean, we were better in shape. I mean, I'm 57, I don't look that bad, but just energy-wise, these machines just save a lot of time. So like Steven or Jimmy coming home, they got things to fix. There's energy at the end of the day to fix stuff that what may ever be broken, or just family time to going somewhere.
I got a good topic.
Yeah.
When we talk about walker mowers, because we feature that like crazy. This is the older one, the 2017. This isn't the new one that our dad uses every day. But you've had a walker pretty much since I was alive, right?
Yes. I think I spent, a friend of mine, Bill Oleski, was a landscaper up in Bergen County, and he had a pretty big business. He talked me into buying a walker, and the first time I used it, I'm like, I should have bought this last year. At the time, I think the walker I bought was $8,100. I forget where I bought it from, but again, just time, saves so much time and energy, it's not even funny, and it's just great. When the leaves start falling in the fall, that first couple times the walker would just suck it up and be done with it, where you didn't have to blow off the lawn, or if you had to walk behind, emptying the bag every time because people wanted their leaves picked up. Again, it was different times back then. Today, it's basically speed and the right equipment. You get so much more done.
So you had a walker. The first walker, I think you gave me the pamphlet that you found like 3 months ago or something with
I
the
did.
pricing
Yep.
in it.
Yep.
I think it was 8,000 or something you said, and
Yep.
now
It would've
that
been,
one
yeah.
is like $22,000 new right now.
It's insane.
If we were smart, we should have bought every one back then for 8,000
Yeah.
and sold them right now. I wouldn't have to be here doing a video getting paid. Only kidding.
Yeah.
So moving on to
Yeah.
the present.
Yeah. We'll move on.
Or do you
to
want
the
to talk
present.
about
So
the
he-
middle, like the
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can talk about how we learned some more stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we learned from someone. We learned from him. We learned how to do a lot of the stuff from him. Some stuff we figured out on our own. The mechanical part, we probably figured out more so on our own, I'd say. But
Yeah.
that's because we were fixing all your stuff all the time.
I
was
broke
always
it
broken.
purposely.
Yeah, but we worked with our dad for helping him here and there. He would be paying for basketball camps, that sort of thing, helping him here and there, paying him back for stuff, school, that sort of thing. So we were always giving him a helping hand, and we just learned. That's especially how I learned. At first, if you would ask me 2 years ago, I would have never been doing any of this stuff. But I learned from him, and I had a background in this business. I know you learned a lot from him.
Well, there's pictures of me 3 years old starting on the top, mulching in the wintertime just because I was bored and I wanted to mulch. And it was just worth it to buy the $100 worth of mulch to shut me up, and I would go mulch in February.
Yeah.
But,
True story.
There's pictures of me 4 years old, 5 years old, with the 61-inch Toro diesel that you had, the big mower.
Oh yeah, big. Yeah.
Sending me down these hills that are like this steep, go cut that, and it's something that like a normal person would weed whack. But I'm down there at 5 years old on my, it was take your son to work day. That was like the
Yeah.
highlight of the school year for me, because I would get out of school to go to work just to eat lunch and get some free breakfast and go work and just sit on the mower and cut people's properties.
Yeah, I have a funny story. I don't think I weighed enough to make it work. So we
Neither
had to
did
put
I.
we used to
Yeah,
have to
had
put a
put a
rock
brick.
on this.
We had to
Yeah.
put a brick, like a paver cap,
Yeah,
on it. So
seat.
Jimmy was a skinny shit back then.
yeah. So it would shut off with that not on there. But
But with that rock is funny, where you used to park your truck and trailer, the rock would come out of the trailer when I wasn't working with you guys. You'd put it right by the tree.
Right.
And when I would
Yep.
come to work, finally I bulked up a little bit when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and that rock is now covered in leaves, and we never needed it. But if we would have known mechanically, we could have just tripped the sensor on
yeah,
the seat. We
Yeah.
could have just
Yep. It
hooked
was
the
all.
sensor.
They came out with a lot of safety devices in case if you had to get off the mower, it would just shut off just so the blades weren't spinning, or the mower, where the parking brake would leave, and you don't have a running mower with blades going.
yeah.
Going
But
down
back
the
then
road.
they didn't have that.
Now you're saying like all these things have emergency brakes. I don't recall. I mean, I've been where a walk behind would just, like, the levers, one would release, and you'd be going to do something else, and the mower would just be going in circles, thank God. I had a guy years ago that I bought a brand new 48-inch walk behind. It was probably a week old. I was up in Canfy Lake in Bloomingdale. I went to go visit my friend Mike. I let him learn a little bit. He came running over. Probably half hour later, the mower was in the lake because he didn't do exactly what I just said. He didn't put the levers in. He went down to pick up a stick or a piece of paper. The mower, brand new. Took it down to Matt and Willie. Matt took his blower, took the muffler off, went through the oil tank, and blew all the water out. Put new oil in, start right up. Lesson to be learned.
And we could make this video like probably 4 hours long of
Yeah.
just stories, because it's
I'm just surprised there's no
never-ending.
beer yet. It is Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about like I guess 2013 is when I graduated high school till like 2000. When did you graduate college? 2021?
2.
22.
Yeah,
Well, when you went into college was 18.
yeah,
So we'll talk about like 2013 to 2018, where you were by yourself working. I was also by myself working, and we were kind of doing our own things. We would team up on bigger jobs. And that basically, just to fast forward, got us to where we were last year. It was like, why are we both working separately? Let's just join forces. But before we get to that, we'll talk about what it was like working solo. And we both had the right equipment. We basically mimicked each other's setups. I mimicked what you had. It was a Walker mower,
Mhm.
your right standard mower, and then a Hurricane blower.
Yep.
I think that was spot on what I was running in my trailer too.
Yeah. You had a Ferris and you had Ferris stand on.
But before that, I had
Yeah.
just the Walker
Oh yeah.
and the
You had a Toro 48.
and it's Toro 48 walk behind mower, but basically mimicking your setup. But you want to, like, what was it like to work by yourself for like you said, that 10-year period of time or so when you couldn't find help and help was just too expensive?
Okay, so my take on that is, I did try to go the route where hire a couple guys many years ago and try to send them out and go work so I could do other things or relax. And me being just, a worker, let's call it, the complaints would come in. If you want the job done right, do it yourself. And that's what I tried to teach these guys and Matt and Mike, just to do it right. So I'm like, I'm paying these guys whatever to go out and work, and then I got to go back and fix something or do that. That was a waste of time for me. I'm very time conscious. As they said, I'm ziggified. I'd rather go out and work an extra hour, make a little bit more money, and have it done right. I don't remember when I did that. If I had maybe 5 complaints, and it was probably something stupid, maybe I hit something, broke a window here or there, which happens in this business. Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect. That's kind of why I worked by myself. It's just to save time at the end of it. When I went home, phone calls, estimates, billing, all that stuff. I did all that. Sunday mornings, end of the month, I was up printing out bills, stuffing them in envelopes, putting a stamp on. These guys now, they have the credit card. It's done. It's just so far advanced, it's not even funny.
But also working by yourself and doing everything by yourself made me want to do it by myself, because then, like you said, you have your winters off. And we were able to choose to snowplow or not, depending on how the year went. And then you were able to go hunting every single day and not have to snowplow if there was no plowing that winter. But then you're off for 4 months, and you get to, unfortunately, get your body recover from the long, brutal year. But you're off for 4 months with your family, and all our basketball games and football was over in the winter, but it was mostly basketball games and
many basketball games.
Yeah, driving all over the creation, going all over the country for Matt's AAU tournaments and stuff. I guess we'll talk about now what was leading up to the transition.
Yeah.
I mean, the last couple years, meaning the COVID year and 2021, I guess, was the last 2 years of us working separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jim was in school.
Yeah, I was a full-time college student up until last year. Graduated, got my degree, and now I'm here. So.
Yeah, but
Degree in landscaping?
No, I did not. I got a degree in mechanical engineering.
I just had to say that.
Yeah.
But just talking about it with Jim over the phone, talking with my other brothers over the phone, it's like, would it be a good idea to join forces with Papa Zig? And I don't know. It was boiling for a year or two. Like, the ideas were stirring and throwing numbers around and just trying to figure out if it would work or not. Because we always worked really, really well together, but it was part-time. It was never full-time together.
It was on bigger jobs.
Yeah. We would come in with both our Hurricane blowers on monster jobs. And
I'll give you an example. I did Bill Monahan's house in I guess, Butler Kennel Homes, right on Route 23. He had Monahan Paint Store. Great old guy. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. His backyard was probably almost the size of a football field. I would do it with that Freyden blower back by myself. It would probably take me personally 6 hours by myself just to do the leaves, and I had to cut the grass. 4-foot chain link fence. I would have to go with my backpack blower with the Freyden and make a ramp with the leaves and get them up over the fence. So 6 hours by myself. And before I went up there, did the leaves, I would have to drive a can of gas up on the top because the Freyden's going to run out of gas. So like we're saying, we combined bigger jobs together. When we brought our both hurricanes done, I think we were done in an hour and a half.
If that. I think.
If that, yeah. And trust me, the leaves were piled this high,
The height
where
of the fence.
it made its own ramp to get it up and over the fence. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so like those years we were just kind of thinking like, what if we joined forces instead of working part-time with I'll help you and then you come help me. It was like on a rain week where there would be a day where we'd have to get 20 lawns done a piece. We'd jump in together, work like 12 hours, get 40 done, or 10 hours and get them all done at once. Or a paver job or whatever, and kind of switching around whatever. But then when you think about like 2 business insurances, 2 separate businesses, all the fuel costs for 2 separate businesses, 2 separate lawn trucks pulling the trailer, 2 trailers. It was like, okay, let's figure something out here that might work for all of us. And this was Jimmy was coming to the end of his college year, his senior year, and figuring out if he was going to go pursue his degree, like get a job in his field, or kind of come in on the business here. There's a bunch of experimenting and ideas thrown around. And do you want to talk about some of the ideas?
Yeah.
What you would be doing if you weren't doing this?
If I was, yeah. So I mean, obviously the first option was I would go just get a regular job. I wouldn't be in the business, and they were in the discussion about what they wanted to do. So I would have not been in the picture, and YouTube probably wouldn't be a thing right now if that was that. But anyways, I was weighing my options. I thought, you know, if you're going in on it, I thought, you know, the 3 of us, we all have really good talent. We all know what we're doing. We all are very good at communicating. You see the videos we've made. I mean, the 28 lawns in 6 hours. I can't tell you how many people comment and they don't believe us.
You could
But
probably
we could probably do, if we put our head to it, we could probably do 60 plus lawns in one day.
If we
I
had
think.
to.
If
They're
we
all
had
in the
to.
same town.
it'd be a long day, but yeah,
But
I personally think it could be done.
Yeah, so I think just with the talent, I knew that we have the talent, we have the capability to go out and make a lot of money. I figured it was a good choice. It was worth passing up my degree, in my opinion, to do this.
Don't let your mother hear that.
Yeah, I won't.
We were weighing the options too.
Yeah.
Me and you specifically were sitting down making like a chart of the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
And I was completely neutral about your decision, wanted you to do what you wanted to do. One of the big pros that stuck out to Jim, I'm not speaking for you, but was you're off for 4 months in the winter. And you could, once again, it goes back to you being off for 4 months in the winter after working the entire year.
Yeah.
Make your money in the 8 months, and you get to chill for 4 months. And the goal is to get into investment properties and all the other rentals and stuff like that down the line where we have time to do that in the winter. But I don't know. What
Yeah.
else? Anything else about?
I just saw the positives in the. I knew we could do it. That's why I came here. So
Yeah.
I knew we could do it.
It's good to have you, Jim.
Yeah, thanks. And I knew we have the background from these 2 guys of the knowledge of what to do. I mean, when we get to jobs, sometimes I don't know what to do, even though maybe I make it seem on camera like I do, but these guys they're 10 steps ahead because they've been there before. So I'm just glad that I can bring my other capabilities here, you know, the mechanical capabilities, little ins and outs that I think of, but I think combined our talent, I think it's too good to pass up.
Yeah.
Can I say
anything to
something? So these guys talked about doing 60 lawns a day. Back when the kids were younger, Maureen and I would take the kids down to Seattle City for vacation, rented a house first week of August. All Maureen's brothers, sister-in-laws, the family, everybody's down here basically. It was good times back then, still is to this day, except we don't do that as much. The first year we did it, just kind of, kids were young. I remember one day, the week before I did kind of weed whack a little low, I drove from Seattle City to Butler, New Jersey. I cut 56 lawns by myself. Very minimal weed whacking, blew everything off, and I was back down at Sea Isle by 9 o'clock. I left at 4 a.m. So doing 60 with the 3 of them, granted my lawns were a little smaller than what we're doing
like
today.
a fifth of an acre,
A
little
fifth.
small.
But I can honestly say I cut 56 lawns one day by myself. So
All in like Butler, right? Just
Butler,
bang, bang,
Bloomingdale,
bang.
yeah. It was, I mean, I had jobs $12 a lawn, $15 a lawn. So
And when you guys
Yeah.
comment down below, like, there's no way you guys did 28 in 6 hours. Well, if we're doing the math, we have 4 streets that have 5 houses on it, and each
Yeah.
street takes us not even an hour. So there's 20 lawns right there. Then there's another street with 4, and then there's another street with another 4.
Yeah.
So if you just do the math, 4, 5, 6, 4
Yeah.
hours, 5 hours, 6 hours.
and after a while, it's just you could almost set your clock. If we kept the same route, you could almost look on your clock within a half hour when we're going to be at your house.
Yeah.
It's just routine. It might change up now and then because Stephen has to run out and go do something or an estimate, or Jimmy's got to do this or that. But yeah, it can be done.
Yeah.
But if you take that too, people are already going to start commenting 56 lawns by yourself in a day. There's absolutely no way. You
No.
said it was almost no weed whacking because you did the week before and it was the summer, so it was probably dried out a little bit.
Yep.
How many hours did that take you?
I think that took me. I started at 7 o'clock. I left Sea Isle. I always start at 7 o'clock, and I was back down. I think it was 9:15 at night.
So you left at like 6?
I left at 4 a.m.
No, to go
In the
back down.
afternoon.
Oh, 6 o'clock. Yeah.
So you worked like 11 hours?
Yeah, 11, 12 hours.
so-
7. Yeah.
So say you worked 11 hours, you kind of do the math. It's 5 lawns an hour, and if you're just going for it and they're small, a fifth of an acre property,
I might have had a bigger mower back then too,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a walk
yeah.
behind. So it had to have been. But yeah.
so you were doing basically 5 an hour,
Yes.
which for
It's
small
reasonable,
properties,
and you're
you can just
driving
sit right
property to
them.
property.
And if
yeah.
you put your head down and you could go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I do have to. I might have had a helper back then too, but still, even if I did, I think I did have a helper. But yeah, that was. Regardless, if I had one guy with me doing all them lawns, it's still a hell of a lot of lawns for a day.
Yeah.
We'll move on to like the conclusion. So basically, to where we are now was we were all meaning me and Dad were doing our own thing, everything: spring cleanup, mulch, grass, all the way through to fall cleanups separately and sparingly jumping in together. That was in the field, but outside the field, we were both paying our own vehicle insurance, business insurance, billing, which was a big one for both of us, specifically you, with the envelopes and the licking of the envelopes and the stamps and the printing. And I was like a hybrid of that versus I was mixing it a little bit with emails and some stamps, but everything was paper checks and it was just taking forever. Basically, we were running 2 separate businesses. Well, we definitely were running 2 separate businesses, but then along with all that was all of the equipment maintenance.
Yeah.
And point blank, you did what you just had to do to get the work done, and then at the end of the day, there was not enough time to do all of the upkeep on the machines. The oil changes were extended slightly. I mean, like the oil
Yeah.
changes were done, but then besides that, the greasing wasn't kept up with as it should been. Say whatever hours it needed to be done at, and preventative maintenance. It was just oil changes and fuel filters and stuff like that. But it was just taking a toll on not only you but everybody, because it was get done with our day. Now we got to fix this for ourselves, and then Dad's weed whacker broke, or my weed whacker broke, or Dad's truck needs this, or my truck needs this brake thing, and it was just like a whole combination. We're like, all right, we got to figure this out here. Why don't we buy out Dad's accounts and the dump truck, help him sell the rest of his equipment, because the dump truck means, I told you this, that means a lot to me, but probably Jim too.
Yeah.
Matt and Mike don't give a crap about that truck.
They do give a crap.
But I started in that truck. I think I went with you the day you
Yeah.
bought it.
Okay.
What was red? It matched your trailer.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I went with you to go. It was in like New York, right, or somewhere.
No, it was down in Union.
Oh, south. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think I took the ride to go get that truck, and have been in it ever since. Your side of the seat wore a hole out from just the in and out for 20 years. We
I think
put
it's
a new
had
seat
3
in
of
it.
them in it.
Yeah.
It's on its 3rd seat.
That's what they do. I mean, all these
Yeah.
trucks do that, but we put an engine in it. I don't know, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I think what happened, the heater core hoses broke.
And
Yeah.
I think that.
We lost all the coolant. It cracked one of the cylinder heads. But anyway, we put a motor in it, and here it is today,
Is that
painted
the one
black.
that went out to Queens?
Yeah, I remember we put a
Yeah.
van motor in it.
Still working today, every
Yeah.
single day. That's the main truck for pulling the trailer for the lawns. But basically, summing it all up, it's like, all right, if Dad can come work for us. We'll buy his accounts and we'll buy the truck. And we helped him sell the trailer and the right stander, your hurricane blower, and it was the top of the market, which it still kind of is now with the low supply on equipment. So he made out pretty well selling his equipment. And then last year was the first year. I mean, it had a little bit of bumps and bruises here and there, but we made it through a first year of working together full time. Jim came in about halfway through once you graduated.
Yeah, right about this time.
I mean, it was a more positive year than negative year. There was just some bumps and bruises, which is to be expected. You were doing your thing for 35 years solo, and I was doing my thing for, say, 10 years solo, and 35 years outweighs 10 years, so we knew we were going to bump heads a little bit, but we made it through the first year. Jim came in for the last half of last year when the YouTube really started to pick up, and here we are, a fresh start in the beginning of this spring, the three of us all together. Not one flaw. Everything's been going absolutely perfect, except it doesn't rain anymore for some reason.
Yeah.
Other than the weather, all the equipment is, for the most part, staying intact. A little bit of flaws with the Toro. This one is a little bit older, but other than that, I mean, like the tires, and I mean, basically everything is smooth sailing so far this year.
Yeah.
And it's working out for all parties because Dad gets to go right home and not have to do billing or estimates. We'll take care of that. But the billing now is all credit card on file, hit one button and you're done. There's no more envelopes for either one of us. We keep up with the maintenance, me and Jim knock everything out in the month of February. So basically for the entire year, other than oil changing and grease, we should have no major, knock on any wood, no major,
Goes like this.
no major defects or flaws in the equipment, and we've been so far so good this year.
Yeah.
But that's basically your start from when you were 20, 18, to my start when I was in the front seat of your dump truck at age 5, to running through our high school, college years,
Everything, yeah.
grade school, to here we are today. We bought the truck from you after you bought it from the dealer brand new. Now you're working for us. We're taking care of you, you're taking care of us, and it's perfect. It's working out for everyone.
Yeah.
But I know everybody's been wanting to see you in the video. There was one of the comments, I think it was Mike and MJ is his username. He lives in East Hanover. He comments on just about every video, and we talk a lot on Instagram. But that we were doing the paver job 2 months ago, maybe now. Was it middle of March, April? Beginning of April, right before grass started. And we were fixing the demo saw, and you came walking out
With a drink or
with
something?
a drink, and you were trying to tell us where we could get the belt for it. And Jimmy was filming. You said, "How was your day?" He said, "Work with my 2 sons, nothing better." Is that what you said, or something like that?
Yeah.
And the guy commented. He said, "Papa Zig with the quote of the day: working with my 2 kids, nothing better. Savor that, boys."
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna take this. We're gonna make you cut grass till you're 97 on that mower. But basically, Jimmy, to sum it up,
Yeah,
everything's going
To
great.
sum it up, it's going great. Our client base is very good, combined with everybody who's our client on our list now. This year has been very good, I will say that. So last year, yeah, we had some bumps and bruises. There was stuff to figure out. It seems like we pretty much got it all nailed down, and we can just smooth sailing and only get better.
And we've been trying to make this video for the past 3 weeks or so, but always something popped up on a Friday when we were trying to make it. But here we are, we're able to get this out to you guys. So,
They told me yesterday to go get a haircut. I don't know why, but now I know.
Yeah.
so if we, you have any final words?
I do have final words. Doing this for as long as I've been doing it, money comes and goes, but family is forever. And right here,
Half the
This is great.
family's here.
well,
But yeah.
We see the
It's
other
good
half
times.
of the family very, very often, Mike and Matt, and they're watching this. They just don't like landscaping.
Yeah.
I see them every day when I walk down the hall looking at their pictures.
Yeah.
But they support the channel. We appreciate that. We appreciate everyone else supporting the channel. If you watched this far in the video, thanks for watching this far. We finally got this video out about our start and where we are currently, and we're just going to keep growing.
Yeah. So that'll wrap it up today.
Yeah.
If anybody's new here, you guys want to see us actually work and not talk,
Watch any of our
subscribe.
videos. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
watch
don't
all
really-
of our videos and subscribe so you see the new ones that we put out. We got some good stuff on the list, so that's it for me.
Signed autographs are free. Let us know.
All right.
That'll
That's
wrap
it.
it up. So
Yeah.
have a good day.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good day.